Have you ever visited a place that you visited before? Maybe some years before, like an hotel or something, and you visited the place again, but this time around, you had a stronger motivation than you had at your first visit. And now you now see a whole lot of different things that you did not see before. And meanwhile, when you ask what has changed, they said nothing has changed from the last time that you visited the place. What happened? What happened simply is that your motivation has changed. And your motivation influences your expectation. And because your expectation may be higher, you are now seeing a whole lot that you saw before. It's like two people, a farmer and a city builder, looked at a piece of land. One sees a land that it could use for a farm. Another one sees a land it could build a city. Both of them with different motivations. Let's look at the story in the Bible that a lot of us might be familiar with. The story of the children of Israel when they were going to the promised land. Moses sent 12 spies to go and spy the land. 10 brought back a bad report. 2 brought back a good report. Let's look at their report. From the same land. They all went to the same land to observe the same land. The one that brought back a bad report, we found that in Numbers 13, verses 32 to 33. I read from the New Living Translation. So they spread this bad report about the land among the Israelites. The land we traveled through and explored will devour anyone who goes to live there. Can you imagine that? All the people we saw were huge. Yes, that's true. We saw giants there. That's true. The descendants of Anak. Next to them, we felt like grasshoppers. And that is what they thought of us too. Well, some things were true. Some things were lies. Some things were exaggerated lies. Okay? He said the land which we travel will devour anyone. Why did he devour the giants that were there? If it would devour anyone. And they said that we felt like grasshoppers in their eyes. And they also saw us as grasshoppers. Exaggerated lies. Let's see the good reports. We found that one in Numbers 14, verses 6 to 9. 2 of them who had explored the land, Joshua son of Nun and Caleb, tore their clothing. They said to all the people of Israel, the land we traveled through and explored is a wonderful land. And if the Lord is pleased with us, He will bring us safely into that land and give it to us. It is a rich land flowing with milk and honey. Do not rebel against the Lord. Don't be afraid of the people of the land. They are only helpless prey to us. They have no protection. But the Lord is with us. Don't be afraid of them. They also exaggerated, right? There's some truth about it, yes. They said this land is a wonderful land. Of course, it was wonderful because they even took some of the produce of the land, right? And they said the land is flowing with milk and honey. Well, that's what God said, so they believed. You can say, okay, to some extent, that one is true. And they said they are helpless prey to us. Is that true? They don't know yet, right? They said they have no protection. Is that true? Of course, they are armor. 2 sets of people. One exaggerated negatively, and 2 of them exaggerated positively, right? 10 exaggerated negatively, 2 of them exaggerated positively. We are the minority. The minority exaggerated positively. Is that not what we see today? That's what? 20%. Is it? No, less than 20%, right? Is that not what we see today? The statistics say only about 5% of the population of the world exaggerates positively about their lives. No wonder the majority are struggling. In these 2 stories, we see that people that have a positive motivation, they tend to exaggerate about what they expect, and they end up speaking it. And people that have low motivation or maybe negative motivation about their life, they tend to exaggerate negatively. Let me give you 2 stories about my life as well. some time ago, I used to have a business partner. We were very young, we were like in our early 20s then. We both worked for different companies, but we had business together. So we used to live together. So we used to go to parties together. And whenever we went to parties, what we concentrated upon was to check out who are the wealthy people, is that, who are the wealthy attendees and all that. So we kind of check out some measure of wealth, Why, my friend? And when we come back, we give a report to ourselves. Oh, we gist. Did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see that? So my friend would say, did you see the clothes they were wearing? Did you see their jewels? Did you see their bags? Did you see their shoes? I check out shoes as well. That's the only thing, maybe perhaps, that I will see. And I will say, no, I did not see any of that. Say, how come you did not see that? Did you see that some people were wearing, the wealthy ones were on this side of the party and they were wearing so clothes, and some people were on the other side of the party and they were not. I said, no, I don't see all that. I didn't see all that. So what did you see then? I said, I saw that in that party, the hosts and the organizers, they were very wealthy. He said, why? Because they served everybody equally. They served everybody very well. The food was rich, and they served the rich food to everybody. They did not segregate. They did not choose. They were serving table by table. They were following a pattern. They were not jumping to serve some special people. And, so they were, it was well organized. That shows that they are wealthy. So I used to take being wealthy as being able to treat everybody equally. That's what I used to refer as wealth. And even today, I still refer that one as being wealthy. Because I consider being wealthy is a state of the mind. Your character, your disposition. But he used to come be wealthy as a material, just the material things. Another story. I used to have another business partner, but this was my employee, but my business partner as well. And I was in business development. I was developing a lot of businesses, for myself that time to increase my income. That time I just lost my job and I had to develop, I had a business, but I had to develop so many other business to increase my income so that I could catch up with the income I was making in my company then, with GlaxoSmithKline then. So I took him to the markets, different markets, the rich market and the market in the middle class area. And I told him to observe, because we want to develop at least 10 products that we could sell in each of these markets. And when we came back, I asked him, what did you see? Can you give me a report? He was saying, no, the two markets were good, busy, too many products were selling, a lot of selling and buying, and all that. He could have really give me specific things that we could hold on to. So I told him, okay, took him through a training in sales and marketing, and I gave him an incentive. I told him, if you could come out with a product that we could sell successfully in either of the market or in both of the markets, you will get 1% of the sales in addition to your salary, or 10% of the profit, whichever is higher. And after that, then we went back to those markets again. And when we came back, I asked him, can you give me a report? This time around, I said I should give him just one day. Second day, he came out with reports of 10 products we could sell successfully in the market. How we could sell it, where to buy products from that we will sell, and who to sell it to. Why? Because his motivation has changed. Now, he had some more training on business, and he has some incentive that's motivating him. So I ask you today, what's your motivation? A friend of mine told me, when I asked him, one person, what's your motivation? Why are you doing all the things you are doing? He said his motivation was to free his his family from poverty, right? And when after being able to free his family from poverty, then he raised his motivation to free other families from poverty. So he had motivation to go higher. Another friend told me his motivation, and this is very funny, was to be somebody because a girl that he loved told him he was nobody and dumped him. So he wanted to prove that he would be somebody. And after being somebody, he wanted to help. Now he wants to help a lot of people that felt they were nobody to be somebody. So what's your motivation? If you can raise your motivation, maybe your motivation was little before. Can you raise it? Can you make your motivation stronger so that you can go higher? I can give you 3 things that could help you to move your motivation higher. One of them is your life purpose. If God is calling you to do something, can you be sold out to that calling? If you are sold out to that calling, every day you want to get up and do something towards achieving it, right? That could be a very strong motivation that will last for a long time, because usually you get a life purpose, it lasts till you die. You are pursuing it till you die, because God keeps giving you new visions. When you achieve one level of vision, God gives you another vision. God gives another assignment. That's an assignment. God gives you one assignment, then another assignment, and you get going higher. Another strong motivation is, what legacy do you want to leave behind? To your children, even to generations after you. What legacy do you want to leave behind? If you want to leave a very strong legacy, then that could be a motivation for you to go higher. And thirdly, what impact do you want to make in people's life? Do you enjoy seeing impact you make on someone's life? I tell you a story. I went with a friend of mine, one of my wealthy friends, to a charity organization, because I'm always into charity, either organizing charity or raising funds for charity. And he told me, and I asked him, to give some donation, and he gave. So while we were at that charity event, one of the people, it was a less privileged community, gave a very, very moving speech, and my friend was crying. And I was, after the event, I asked him, why were you crying? And he told me that he had never had a strong motivation to go higher than what happened to him in that event. That now he saw a reason why God gave him all the wealth. That all the wealth was to help the less privileged. He said he's raising his target. He's raising his goal because of that. That he wants to help as many less privileged people as possible. Can you imagine that? Before then, he had never given to charity, even though he had the money. He found a new motivation to go higher. What's your motivation? Can you go higher? Can you challenge yourself? So whenever you go out now, to go and see with the gift God has given you, the gift of sight, can you put a motivational high to it that will spur you to go higher? If you can do that, you made my day. Thank you for joining us on the Kingdom Self Business channel. If you found this video valuable, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with others, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth exploration of your unique business. And until next time, be the best and dominate the world.